Okay, so this is Polynomials 2. This is about classifying polynomials. So, a polynomial is an expression consisting of multiple terms. Remember, we talked about a monomial only has one term. Polynomial just means multiple. Examples, right? You could have negative 6x minus 5. I have a term here and a term here. There's more than one, so it's a polynomial. I could have 4x squared plus 3. Term here, it has two terms, it's more than one, it's a polynomial. I could have 2y cubed plus 3x. Term here, it's two terms, but it's a polynomial because there's more than one. Or I could have something like 3xy cubed minus 1. Still two terms, more than one, so it's a polynomial. The rules are, when you're writing polynomials, they must be written in alphabetical order, and the highest exponent must come first. So let's look at some examples of that. Examples. The wrong way to write it would be 3x plus 1 plus 2x squared, because my highest exponent must go first. Alphabetically, it's all x's, right? I don't have other variables in here. So I just rely on my exponents. So the 2x squared comes first, plus 3x plus 1. Highest exponent first. Next example, I still have all the same exponents, all of the same variables, it's just w, but I have a squared, a cubed, and I have a constant, and I have to the power of 1, right, just a w all by itself. So I need to write them in order, highest exponent first, so it's w cubed plus 3w squared minus w minus 28. Notice I just took the sign with whatever comes after it. I always do that in algebra. What if you have multiple letters? So in this case, I have 13 minus c cubed plus 5d cubed minus 7c squared d squared. All right, well, alphabetically, my c's must come first. And once I see my c's, I know I have to go with the highest exponent first. So this one is going to come first. I took the sign with it, so negative c cubed minus 7c squared d squared, because I did have a c there. Now I'm going to go to my next letter, which is d, so plus 5d cubed plus 13, right? That 13 ends up at the end. This would be the correct order to write my polynomial. When we talk about classifying polynomials, this is just being able to determine what kind they are, being able to kind of give them a name by degree and number. So when we talk about by degree, degree is the highest exponent on a variable. So for example, if I have x squared, this is quadratic, and I'm making a little table over here in just a minute. If I have y cubed plus x squared, I'm going to go with that 3 because it's the highest exponent, and that makes it cubic. So let's look at the differences here. I'm going to take this down. Okay. On degrees, right? This is the exponents that you have. This is what we were looking at over here. So if I have, for example, a constant, this is just the number 12, right? It's degree 0 because it's a constant number. It's never going to change. I could have a linear one. So linear would be like 12x, right? That would make a straight line. That's why it's called linear. If I'm looking at a quadratic, it would be like 12x squared. If I'm looking at cubic, it would be 12x cubed. And if I'm looking at quartic, it would be 12x to the power of 4. These are by degree. Then you could also classify by number of terms. So a monomial has only one term, a binomial has two terms, a trinomial has 3 terms, and anything with 4 or more terms is a polynomial. So let's look at classifying a couple of examples. If I just have the number 6, it's a constant and it's a monomial. There's only one term and it's just a number all by itself. Constant, monomial. If I look at 7p plus 1, well, that's linear, right? It looks just like the linear equations that we've been doing for the whole first semester. And it's a binomial because there's 2 terms. If I look at this next one, well, I know because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 terms that it's a polynomial. And if I look at the highest exponent, it's a 4. So this one is quartic. So a quartic polynomial. So this is classifying polynomials by degree and number of terms. So let's do a little bit of practice.